in order to be close, you almost have to have this come on that is an adult, almost sexualized intimacy, right?
Right.
Does the strength of a true intimacy in childhood between a parent and a child somewhat shield the child from the influences of the wrong kinds of intimacy as they mature?
Well, absolutely, because there is a need for the intimacy that is innate within a child. If it's being supplied and met in the proper way by the parent, they're not going to continually have this quest or this seeking for it. But it's like the song that some years ago, looking for love in all the wrong places. It's looking for intimacy in all the wrong places, and they will look. If they don't find it in the right places through their parent, they will search for that intimacy from someone else. They will want that close feeling with someone else, and some people go through life, and that's their tragic story. They're continually seeking the intimacy that they never had. They were deprived of that as a child. They don't know how to find the right kind of or proper intimacy as they grow up and go through the preteen years, the adolescent or teenage years, the young adults and 20s period of time and all that. And so they're getting or trying to get, they're trying to grasp, and it's heartache after heartache. It's really sad. It's tragic.
While the child is seeking intimacy from a parent, why is the father-mother relationship so critically important? The quality of that relationship, the way it is presented to the child for the child's sense of stability, and ultimately the sense of relationship that they're supposed to have as adults.
You're saying the relationship between their parents then?
Right.
Yes. Well, that's critically important because that's the role, that's the model that they live with, that they see in their everyday life. If dad and mom are kind and patient and gentle and loving to one another and express a proper affection, I mean, that speaks volumes to a child. And on the other hand, if dad and mom are criticizing, yelling, shouting, throwing things at each other, backstabbing, whether figuratively or almost literally, you know, that kind of thing, that also speaks volumes, but in a very wrong message. And it agitates children. It upsets them emotionally. They end up oftentimes in a psychologist or a psychiatrist or other specialized counselor's office because they have all of these emotional and psychological problems that they just seem to come out of the woodwork, as it were. Well, they're not coming out of the woodwork. They're coming from that bad example that's now having its effect on the child.
So are children in their needs for intimacy very sensitive in a way that most adults today are not prepared to understand?
Frankly, you know, we don't have much training. We don't have much for individuals to know what to expect. And what we basically tend to do is a pattern that we have experienced, and we have a higher percentage of adults, of parents now, who did not have the right example when they were growing up, did not have the right kind of intimacy with their parents. And so the problem is sort of mushrooming and multiplying.
If girls that are teenagers don't have a warm, intimate, completely non-sexual involvement with in relationship with their dads, just a wonderful, warm, supportive relationship dad provides, and boys with their moms and dads, and vice versa, girls with their moms, then a large percentage of kids do seek this through sex with peers. And then what does that set up for later in life? We're seeing that most young adults are trying out cohabitation instead of waiting for sex to be within marriage. Is that all part of a failure to establish really strong non-sexual intimacy in childhood?
Right. It's attached, very much attached to that, and it's attached to the fear of being hurt continually because they're trying the wrong thing to seek this intimacy, and it's resulting in failure. It hurts. They then get afraid of commitment, and so the whole thing here with just the cohabitation is like, well, it's not going to hurt that much because, you know, no strings attached. So we just don't get along anymore. You know, we just go our separate ways and no hurt. Well, that's not the way it is, regardless, but that's what they're trying to avoid, is the hurt.
When we come back, we're going to be talking about the need that all children have for a sense of control. Parents are real strong. Women are very strong today. Men are very strong in the need for a sense of control. Well, do you know that children need a sense of control? We're going to talk about what that means.